What we have been through is some absolutely bizarre behavior as we have tried to adapt to the technology which has invaded our lives. You know, there were a lot of stories that I wrote into the book about what happened to some of us as we tried to deal with the complexities of all this technology. There was the story of the secretary who was assigned responsibility for making a copy of the computer disks each night. And one day the company had a catastrophic server failure, and they asked her to go back and get the copies of the computer disks so they could do a restore. And she came walking in with a stack of 8.5, 11 pages of paper, each one with an accurate photocopy of the particular disk. We don't know if it's true. It could have happened. You know, Dell put out a story in the mid-1990s, of one of their service calls that came in. And the lady called in, and she said, "My coffee cup holder is broken." "Ma'am, what are you trying to say? We're Dell Computers. We sell computers." She says, "I know, and my coffee cup holder is broken, and I'd like to get it replaced." The guy tried to spend 5 minutes trying to figure out with her what the heck was going on. He finally realized what she was doing. She'd come into the office in the morning, she'd have her cup of coffee, she'd walk up to her computer, she'd press the button for the CD-ROM tray, it would slide out, and she'd put her cup of coffee on top of it. The darn thing finally broke off. When I was researching this book, I found absolutely magical stories of what happens when technology goes wrong. There was a guy in Oregon, true story, he wanted a custom license plate. And he got the form to get the custom license plate. There's 3 areas you fill on the form. You get 3 possible choices. He was a sailing enthusiast, so he wrote in yachting. He wrote in sailing. He couldn't think of a third option, so he wrote in no plate. He sent in the form. 2 weeks later, he received in the mail his custom license plate. What did it read? No plate. Option 1 wasn't available. Option 2 wasn't available. It went into the computer processing department. The computer logic just processed it and assigned him the license plate, no plate. He sort of figured out what was going on, thought it'd be unique, good party discussion, so he put it on his car. He started driving around. In a week, he got a summons from the Transportation Administration for the state with the ticket. Reason for infraction, driving without a properly authorized license plate. The next day he got 2 more. Within a week he was receiving hundreds. And he was calling them trying to figure out, why am I getting all these tickets? They finally figured out that what was happening was an officer would find an abandoned vehicle and would write in the reason for the infraction, no plate. Computers only do what you tell them to do. He's the guy who owns no plate, send it to him. It's been an absolutely fascinating time in terms of the unreliability of technology along the way. The blue screen of death, right? You think about some of the error messages we get by using this stuff. Macromedia Dreamweaver with an error message, no error occurred. What the heck do I do? Do I press OK? Do I not press OK? You're freaking me out here. What's happening here? You've really screwed up this time. I know, what else is new? It's my first day. And sometimes we're using these things and we're just absolutely feeling like, go away. We are a very unique generation in the history of mankind who have gone through the most unique voyage in history that will never happen again. And one fellow observed if the automobile had followed the same development cycle as the computer, a Rolls-Royce today would cost $100, get 1 million miles to the gallon, and it would blow up once a year, killing everybody inside. It's kind of worrisome. Microsoft says they're going to build, the stuff for the next version of the car, and somebody observed, well, if that's going to happen, you're going to drive down the highway. One day the car is just going to stop in the middle of the road, and the dash is going to have one light that says, general car fault.